Good evening, family. Ooh, excuse me, starting off with that already. This in the chat. What is going on, family? How is everybody? Welcome back to another live session. Man, I do believe this is number 7 that we have committed to being here, right? So glad that everybody is here, hopping on. Go ahead, let's take our time getting on here, right? How is everything? Make sure I got everything. We good? Yes. How was everybody doing this evening? Miss Hawkins, what is going on? Good to see you. Welcome back. Man, it is Friday. It is the 1st, and I'm feeling fabulous because I'm here with family. How about that? First Friday, feeling fabulous. Yeah, let's say that a couple of times, right? So glad that we are here. So good. Really feeling good about this particular live because I called a few people out on the last episode, and we're going to follow up again today, right? I don't know why I said episode. So yeah, let's see what else we got going on real quick. I guess just to kind of point some things out here. And I guess I don't have nothing to point out today. There's nothing to recap, right? I mean, it was definitely a full week. For me, it was, at least. I told myself last Friday, I said, I'm gonna take a couple of days off just because was doing a lot of things, had a lot of things just going on, period. And I said I was going to take a couple of days off. That didn't happen. I mean, it's still been going like crazy, which is a good thing, I guess, right? I'm not complaining because it's a good busy. I'm glad to be busy, glad to be here. But man, it's been definitely a crazy week. Still a lot of talk about the stimulus. Oh, that's what I wanted to address before we get into everything else. There's a lot of rumors, and I'm stating that there are rumors about a second stimulus happening. It's not. There's going to be no second stimulus happening or anything like that. Hold on. Let me make sure what we got going on here, guys. All right, hopefully I think the audio was good, man. And y'all hear me okay out there? I had to check my audio and making sure it wasn't coming from what mic, I don't know. So we should be all right. Man, let's see here. We got a few people checking in. Oh, good. Miss Fire says the audio is good. Hold on. Let me get my thoughts together. So going back to this second stimulus, it is a rumor, my good people. There, as of right now, have not been signed into any law. There has not been any talk, at least in Capitol Hill, about a second stimulus, man. I mean, I've heard so many things about it. We're going to get an additional $2,000 a month or a secondary $4,000 check. I mean, my phones have been ringing off the hook. And even some of my family members are asking, they're like, man, we're going to get that second stimulus. I'm like, I haven't heard anything about it, but my resources come directly from Congress themselves. You can go to congress.gov. Like these resources is available to the public. If you ever hear anything and you want to validate it, you can go directly to congress.gov and you can learn of any bills that they're intending on passing that is going to be checks cashed, to America. But as of right now, don't believe everything you hear, right? There is going to be no stimulus check or no second stimulus check. At least as of this video, there hasn't been any talk about that. So I wanted to get that out there, clear the air, so we can move forward. Okay. So let's go ahead and check in who is all in the building. Let's see. Ashley, of course, said it's low. Trucking with Mr. Coach said, man, it's good to see me back. It's good to see you back. Okay. If anything, I'm driving. My wife is the one answering. Wow, man, I love the tag team y'all got going on. So you driving, I'm assuming she's holding the phone or the tablet or something, and y'all watching me live, man. That is something worth rewarding, man. I'm gonna have to figure that out because that's that's just love right there, man. That just gave me chills a little bit. Who else is here? Mrs. Fifi Cordero says, good evening to all. Well, good evening to you. Okay. Uh, Miss Hawkins says, just got hers today. I'm assuming we just got that stimulus today. Cool. Spend it wisely, right? We gonna talk about what we can do with some of that good money there, okay? LT said, I just got my E-Tran number or E-Tran number from the SBA. That is a progress. Okay, I'm assuming we may be talking about the PPP loans. And just in that, speaking on the PPP, right, which is the Payroll Protection Program loan, there's been a lot of, oh my goodness, so many changes with that. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, right, we be playing whack-a-mole. You hear something, it's like, oh, cool, we get it. Now then they change it. So the latest release from the IRS states that if you took out a payroll protection loan and you use that for what it is intended to be used for, meaning that you pay your payroll, okay, and that you pay it for rent and everything like that, because the loan is going to be forgiven, you can no longer write off that amount. So what's going to happen come next year, normally when you would write off the amount that you spent, rent, utilities, mortgage, payroll, and things like that, you're not going to be able to deduct it anymore because you took advantage of this loan and it was forgiven. So now your taxable income is going to go up, meaning your tax is going to go up. So that is something that you need to make sure that you are prepared for if you actually participated in the PPP loan and got approved, okay? So make sure, keep that in mind. Talk to your tax professional. If that's something you're doing, talk to your accountant, your bookkeeper, somebody, so you can be prepared when you file your taxes next year and you won't be caught off guard. Because you cannot write those things off, your taxable income is going to go up, and don't want you to be surprised by that, okay? So let's see what else here. Sketches to Design, man. Hello there. Glad to see you here. Welcome back again. Informed SR Thankful says hello. Welcome. Trucking with Mr. Coach has confirmed my theories that they are just truly amazing, man. Can't wait to reward that because that's beautiful. Mo Love and Life, blessings to all, blessings to you. LT says yes, sir. Let's see. Ashley asks, has anyone got the SBA loan? Well, Ashley, I know a few people who applied, and I got an email today that somebody I know was super excited because they got approved for the PPP loan, and I'm like, that's great. Me personally, I didn't apply for it just because it was just seeing what was happening, the trends, the ups, the downs. I was like, it's going to be a nightmare. I don't even feel like dealing with it, but for those who did get it, again, just make sure that you are fully prepared for what's going to come next year. That's all I'm saying there, okay? Let's see. LT says, I'm an electrical and mechanical contractor here in Texas. Well, hey, Texas, everything is big, right? And I applied roughly 3 weeks or so ago, and Bank of America just sent me the number this morning. Okay, that's good. I know a lot of people who applied the first time when it ran out of money. Then they went back, did some renegotiating, funded it again. And from that second disbursement, a lot of people are getting approved. So, man, fingers crossed, hoping you get it, hoping it comes right in time so you can continue being successful and be good to go. Let's say that LT said that they stated within the email, this was my last step. So, okay, so about 10 days to go. We should be good, man. So again, glad that this is all working out for people, man. Glad that we are still able to be in business during this uncertain time. COVID-19 has definitely taught us a lot of things. It has challenged us. But as we can see, we're still here. We are still resilient. We're still moving forward. So I'm excited knowing that we good to go. So let's go ahead and hop on in and get to what I want to talk to tonight, which is just getting things done, right? Moving forward in business, moving ourselves out the way. Last week when we were live, we were talking, well, I was talking about the top 10 mistakes that I've made in my business journey. And one of those things was not starting soon enough, right? That was probably, and if I'm reflecting on it, that probably was one of the biggest mistakes I've made. And just to kind of recap, I say it's one of the biggest mistakes that I've made because the minute that I decided to be my own boss, the minute that I decided to become 100% self-employed, things just got better. And I kind of slapped myself, right? Because I was like, man, I should have did this a long time ago. So many opportunities that I couldn't take advantage of because I was still stuck in corporate America, still doing those things, still trying to conform to somebody else's box, still making somebody else some money, right? As long as I was doing them things, I was limited. I was in this small confine. I couldn't really do me. I couldn't be me. I couldn't do what I'm doing now. I couldn't have this freedom, this joy. And that to me, I don't like to have regrets, but if I could say, man, I surely regret that I didn't do this earlier. So last week, towards the end, we had a few people state that they were wanting to get things done. They were wanting to start right now. So I challenged everybody to start last Friday to this Friday, 7 days. You had 7 days to start your business. Or even if you had started your business, but you didn't go to the next level, you didn't go to that next step, you had 7 days to make that happen. So who amongst you actually did it? I want to report. So I'm looking on my list here because I went back to watch the video and I looked at the comments. So let me just recap those individuals. Walter said that I procrastinated with my DBA. It's now in limbo between LegalZoom and the government. So I am looking for Walter to give us an update on how things are going with his DBA. Okay. There was a Tim Johnson last week that says he didn't want to make the mistake of getting an EIN or tax identification number versus an LLC. He said he needed a number to collect tax and pay it. So Tim Johnson, we should have an update from you as to how things are going. Did you get that EIN? Did you decide to go with an LLC? Did you get everything set up to where you can collect tax and pay it, right? We should have an update from there. Let's see. Philly D says he is looking to start his own business, but is not sure if this time is the right time with the virus and stay at home is happening. So I know for a fact we weren't worried about COVID-19 getting in our way. So I'm looking to get an update from Philly D on if things got started. Next was Michelle Larson stated that this live was exactly what she needed. She's consuming too much and trying to perfect all of her products before opening up the Etsy and just needs to do it. So Michelle Larson, we should have an update on how things are doing, right? And then lastly, who did I call out here? Felicia Nelson stated, can I start my online business now, although we are on lockdown? Okay, she asked because has all the paperwork, but City Hall has closed and Felicia has a cookie business. I said, I don't care if City Hall was destroyed or anything like that. Start the business. So from those individuals, I'm calling them out. We should have updates from them on how things are going. And while we're waiting on updates and everybody else who has an update for me, let's go ahead. Oh, there goes Michelle Larson. I see she just popped in the comments. Let's see what she says. I did it. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. High five, fist bump, boom. Etsy shop is open, isn't perfect, but it's done. Man, that is beautiful, man. Let's all give her a round of applause. Let's clap hands. She did it. I'm happy. I would play some music, but then I might get into copyright infringement, so I don't want to do that here on YouTube. But just know that I am playing. We boogieing in my head right now. We grooving because Michelle, she did it. She committed. Etsy is up and running. Make sure that you share your link, right? Michelle, make sure that you put your link here in the comments, share it with us so we can go out and check you out, so we can support one another. That's what I want us to do. And that's absolutely fabulous, man. That's absolutely amazing that you got it. So I want to kind of focus further on that, right? Us getting out of our own way, us getting out of our mind, us dealing with the idea, right? The idea that we have to be perfect before we really get out there and start our business. And I'm gonna raise my hand because I am a perfectionist. Everything in my mind has to be perfect before I put it out there. But if we do that, we'll never really get it out there because we are our own worst critics. It'll never be good enough to us, right? But yeah, we have to do that. But hold on, let me get to these comments because I'm seeing some hand claps. We're all celebrating Michelle, man. That's just wonderful. Mo Levin Life says this is a perfect time to start a business. Don't hesitate, just do it. Yes, absolutely. Don't hesitate anything. But we're gonna talk about why we hesitate though, because we do hesitate a lot there. There's a new subscriber and was watching a DBA and home-based business. What's the difference? I want to start an interior design business. Well, really, DBA and home-based business, there is no difference, but I'm gonna come back to that. But definitely, since you're here now, start that business because that's what we're talking about. Let's get it started. No hesitation, no procrastination, no waiting. Let's just do it. We're gonna really kind of go into that. Yes, I'm with Miss Fifi Cordero, Michelle Larson. Make sure that you provide a link to your Etsy shop so we can go support, so we can at least take a look. And of course, when we make products and services, we understand that our products and services is not for everybody, but still, provide the link so we can go in there, show support, browse, look around, let us know that, so we can let you know that we're here for you. So I love my people. I love y'all as my family. I love my customers. And here's why. Recently, matter of fact, what's today? Today's Friday. So I'm going to say Wednesday, I had one of my favorite couples come through. Good friend of mine, been known him for a while, great guy. Carly Mo, him and his wife, Brittany, they came and sat down to do their taxes. We never did the taxes. We had a 3-hour long conversation or set. It was just a session. We just sat here and we just hashed out what it takes to really start a business, to understand everything. And I say that because they came for taxes, but it ended up being something completely different. Why? Because they got to talking about business. Now I'm gonna put this out there. I'm your favorite Uncle Cuss, and I love you, and I hope that the love is reciprocated. But I am the wrong person to tell that you want to start a business. Just putting it out there. The minute you tell me that you want to start a business, I'm gonna be all over you like white on rice. There is no escaping me once you tell me you want to start a business. Why? Because I'm passionate about it. I love business. I love to see people who truly want to start a business actually start their business. So my wife, Brittany, poor Brittany, I probably just scared all the way. When she came in and we got to talking and catching up, right? Because we only see each other, once a year. And she got to talking about her business idea and what she wanted to do. And it's funny, I've known Mo, her husband, before they got married. So we kind of looked at it like, you're telling that to the wrong person. So anyway, long story short, after 3 hours of conversation, she had an actual plan, which was truly amazing to me. And understand this, during this 3 hours, I did very little talking. I did just a bunch of listening. And as she was talking and I was listening, I was just writing notes, right? Taking notes like, okay, I maybe asked a couple of clarifying questions just to make sure I understood. But I'm like, okay. And at the end of everything, Brittany, she had this look on her face like, wow, is it was really just that simple. And I'm like, yeah, it really was just that simple. But then I realized something. We are the reason why our business is not moving or our business isn't where we want it to be. It's because of us, right? There is no physical, there's no tangible obstacle out there preventing us from doing things. It's just us in our minds, right? A lot of times the procrastination comes in because we are scared of something. Like fear to me is the biggest factor. And fear is something that as entrepreneurs, as small business owners, we are going to have to address and we are going to have to face head on. Because here's the thing. You are your business and your business is you. Meaning that if you cease to operate, then guess what? Your business is going to cease to operate. If you have a bad day, it's possible that your business will have a bad day. If you don't feel like doing something that day, then your business won't have any production that day. We are our businesses. So if we are getting in our own way, our businesses can never flourish. So I want to talk about how are we going to really get over these fears that we have, these fears of needing things to be perfect, these fears of, oh, I don't know enough, or these fears of what if I do it and it fails, or what if I try it and it doesn't turn out the way I wanted to, like the what ifs. We really have to get over these fears, right? So let's understand first thing. We are entrepreneurs. If you have a product or service and you have somebody who's paying for their product or service, you have a business, which makes you an entrepreneur. And the core definition of entrepreneur is a person who takes risks. Okay. If you are willing to take a risk in a business to business transaction, you are an entrepreneur. So let's focus on that, right? Risks. It happens. We take risks every time we walk out our door at home. We don't know what's going to happen, but we do it, right? We take a risk just by waking up in the morning. We take a risk because we don't know the foreseeable future. We don't. But think about that. We do it every day. We take risks. So why not take those same risks in business? I get it. There's some things we don't know. So what can we do about the things we don't know? Truthfully speaking, we honestly can't do nothing. We just have to move forward. So one, to my individuals who like to procrastinate, don't. Just do it. There's never going to be a perfect time. Let's understand that. We're thinking because we're here in COVID-19, businesses isn't happening, right? Our economy is shutting down. That's not true. The media, I'm not a fan really too much. If I'm being honest, because they like to plant seeds in our mind, create this fear-based things in our mind. Of course, there are some businesses who are suffering right now because they can't do business like they used to. But at the same time, I'm seeing businesses transform, right? Businesses are pivoting, okay? And those are the ones who will win. Like, we can't get so soaking in, right? We can't collapse in on ourselves and say, woe is me, my business won't thrive right now. No, we have to be different. We have to step out and take those risks, because that's where we're going to see our reward, right? We've heard it before. no risk, no reward. That is absolutely true. But what does that look like, right? Let's kind of um, walk through some risks that we may take. Well, first of all, let me step back. Let me say this. Anybody who's ever been successful tried and failed. If you look up failure stories, right? Like I don't say I love reading it, but I like reading how people didn't give up. It's just so motivating to me. Like some of the legends, right? Like the Beatles. I don't know if you guys listen to the Beatles, the great band of their time. Did you know they were denied 100 times, I'm not mistaken, from record companies who said, you know what? Nobody's going to like your sound right now. Nobody's going to like what you're putting out. So we're not going to sign you. And they grew to be one of the most recognized bands of all time. But initially, it didn't happen. Nobody wanted to hear them. But they continued to take risks. They continued to push through the fear of denial, right? They continued to push through the fear of rejection. And they became successful. So many other stories out there that talk about how people push through that. So we have to push through in order to be successful. Now, when it comes through, or when it comes to learning, right? We get caught up in this trap. We talked about this last week. We get caught up into, I don't know enough, so I'm not going to produce, or I don't know enough, so I'm not going to put it out there. But who really knows enough? And I'm blaming our education system on this fear of not knowing enough. Uh, and then I guess I'm about to say something that'll be controversial, and I'm going to take it, and I'll take the hit for it. But I don't necessarily believe in the higher education system. I don't necessarily believe that everybody needs to go to college to be successful. I don't necessarily believe that college is fully beneficial. And here's why. The core of our educational system is this. Somebody went and did something. They tried it. Maybe something didn't work. Maybe something did work. That individual then came back to teach somebody else or share that information with another individual. That's our education system. If you ever will pay attention, for those who have went to college, again, no offense to you, I do believe in education. Don't get me wrong. I believe education is 1000% needed, but you don't have to go to college to get that education. You just have to do it, because anything that we have learned, whether it be in college or from the school of hard knocks, we've learned by trial and error. Okay. Again, not knocking nobody went to college, because I did, but I felt like everything that I've learned, I really did by trial and error. Okay. And that's what our college system is. We are learning somebody else's trial and error. So it almost makes us dependent on other people before we can do our own, right? Like, I'm not going to do it myself. I'm going to wait till they do it, see what works, see what fails, and then have them come back and teach me, and then I'll go out and do it. And to some degree, that's required. Like, I don't want a doctor operating on me under trial and error, right? I get that. I really don't want that. I wouldn't want an engineer doing something trial and error on, so like on a bridge that I'm about to cross, right? So there are certain core needs for college. But when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to starting a business, when it comes to following your dreams and your desires, let's not wait on somebody else to go out, try it, see what works, what doesn't work, then come back and tell us. Because that whole transition is there's a time span, okay? And there's a book. Let me grab this here. This book that I've read. I don't know if it's really maybe backwards there, but it says the 22 immutable laws of marketing. Okay. It specifically states that one of the reasons most companies win, especially in the marketplace, is because they were the first to put it in the market. Did you get that? Most of the companies, most of the brands that we're used to seeing, the ones that we know and trust and we don't mind spending our money with, the reason that is because they were the first to market. It's not the fact that they were better. It's not the fact that they had a superior product. It's not the fact that they were just that great of a company. It's simply the fact that they were first. First in mind, they remained top of mind, and anybody who came up after them had a challenge to get into the minds of the consumers because they were second. So to me, when we talk about procrastinating, we have to, because time is of the essence. We can't wait for somebody else to go try and do it and come back and tell us what did and did not work, because that means that they were the first to the market. That means that they're going to get the full market share because they were the first in people's mind, not you. So we must do our best to forget everything. Now, let me stop. Don't forget everything, right, that we've been told, because some stuff is good. But if we are in a stalemate position because we feel like, I got to learn more. No, you don't. You know enough right now to do your business. Why? Because you have a vision. Okay? To me, if you can see it in here, then it can be manifested right here. It can be touched. It can be made. Why? Because you can see it. And talking to Mo and Brittany, having that 3-hour discussion made me realize that, like, that is the only thing that we are having a challenge with as small business owners, is getting it from here to reality, right? To take it from our minds to actual reality. But it's an easy process, because really, as she was talking, I was just writing down, okay, you said this is your goal. At the end of the day, this is what you want to have. But the concern was this, and the concern was that. I'm like, okay, so I put the goal at the top. And so this is an exercise I want everybody to do if you haven't done it already. If you have not set a goal for your business, by all means, set one. That is your homework for tonight. Get a blank piece of paper, get something, write a goal down on a piece of paper. That's I'm gonna say that's one of the first things we must do, is write things down. We have to be able to see it. Okay, we have to manifest it onto something tangible, so we can okay, man, I got a wall of madness happening right now on my wall, because I'm redoing the Self-Employed Tax Academy, and everything is out as sticky notes all over the place and what needs to be done. But I realize this, and I'm always going to, put myself out there and be transparent. I was the one. This is the reason why the Self-Employed Tax Academy, I shut it down, because the tax laws changed. But it's almost been a year and I haven't reopened it, because it was just been in my mind. It's like, I know I need to do it, right? I know I need to update it. People have been asking me for it. They want the course, right? They're willing to pay for it, right? But I just haven't done it because it's just been in my mind. But the minute that I printed everything out, put it on paper, made this big visual board, and I can see it, oh, now it's coming. Now things is clicking. Now it's like, oh, all I got to do is this. And it's like, wow, I wasted so much time, missed out on so many opportunities, disappointed possibly a lot of my family that's out there, but a lot of my subscribers, because they wanted this information and I didn't get it to them because it was in my mind. I didn't write it down. I didn't make it plain, make it visual. Man, I really wish I could show y'all now. Matter of fact, yeah, I think I posted it on social media. So if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure that you follow your uncle cousin on Instagram at the Self-Employed Tax Guy, and you can kind of see it. It's just a wall and everything is laid out, but I have a visual. And now that I have a visual, I can get to work. So that's what we need to do to get out of our way. If we're looking to start a business, we really have to get into the habit of writing things down, right? That's why they say it's really important that we make business plans. Why? Because as you're writing your business plan, you are visualizing, you are making steps, you're creating milestones, you are understanding what is needed in the business. Because as me and Brittany was talking, or she was talking and I was listening and I'm writing things down, I'm like, okay, it seems easy enough. I see like, okay, here's your goal. We understand that in order to reach this goal, we need these things here, right? You know that you need to understand some things, right? So you need to do your research here. This is what you need to know. And here is how we can use these things to make that happen. Right? I think I mentioned last week, there's a book called The One Thing, and it talks about that. Because in our minds, if it stays in our minds, our thoughts become commingled and we try to multitask. We try to get everything done all at once. But in the book, The One Thing, it states specifically, it says, if you chase two rabbits, you won't catch either one. And that makes perfect sense to me. Because if we're trying to do two things at once, nothing really ever gets completed. Okay. So it's imperative that we not wait for somebody else to do trial and error and then come tell us, hey, this is what worked. We have to do trial and error on our own. It's like, I want us to, when it comes to fear, have a mindset that I'm about to fail on purpose. Okay. To me, when you have a mindset where you want to fail on purpose, you remove the embarrassment. Because that's what we really, when it comes to us wanting to try things, we don't want to be embarrassed, right? We don't want to try something, fall on our face, and then stand up and now everybody's laughing at us. That's what we don't want. But you know what? We have to get beyond that. It's kind of like, so if you fail on purpose, meaning that, okay, I'm gonna go out here, I'm gonna do this and purposely fail, you won't be embarrassed because you did it on purpose, right? This is, I purposely did this to see what would happen. And I purposely expected it to fail. But what happens if it don't? What happens if you purposely go out there to do something and it actually works, right? So we have to get over the fear. We have to not wait on nobody else. We have to try it the first time. If it doesn't work, try it again. If that didn't work, try it a different way. If that didn't work, ask somebody else who's tried it and see what they did, right? And how did it work for them? If that didn't work, then you try it again, but you don't ever stop. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Just don't ever stop. Try until it's successful. The only thing I don't want us to do is to try the same thing over again. Okay, if I tried to, if I tried to, insert a round peg into a square hole, right? If it didn't work, I should not attempt to try to put that same round peg into that same square hole. At that point, you're insane. That is the definition of insanity. And what I'm suggesting is you take that round peg, try putting it into a triangle hole. You take that round peg, try putting it into a hexagon hole. You take that round peg and you put it into multiple different holes until you find the round hole that it fits in. That's all I'm saying. Just don't continue to put it in the same hole. That's where we get stuck at as people, because we try, like, you know what? I'm going to try it this time. Oh, it didn't work. And then we make excuses as to why it didn't work. Well, it wasn't the right time. Maybe it wasn't, the sun wasn't out that day, so it was cloudy, so they really couldn't see the benefit. Or it was the wrong crowd. So we make any excuse as to why it didn't work, and then we end up trying the same thing over again. No, let's not try it over again. When you try it differently, okay? Just make sure we do that. Hold on, let me get some water here. Oh man, so let's see. I got some comments here. Let me go back and read some comments. Then we're gonna continue on here. Let's see here. Mo Love and Life says, cut out the what ifs. Yes, believe in yourself and know you will succeed. I'm a pause right there, because I really I like that. Cut out the what ifs. You know, if is a very ambiguous word. It leaves a lot of things open to interpretation. I don't like to say if. The whole point of this interaction between you and I is the fact that we get in our own way. And we get in our own way by how we talk to ourselves. Okay? If you ever, I like cartoons. I'm a big fan of cartoons. I think I'm a big kid. I'm probably the biggest kid in my family. I watch cartoons more than my kids do. But I like the scenes in cartoons when they talk, right? And you'll see the speech bubble come out their mouth, and then they're able to catch it and put it back before anybody sees or knows what happened. That can only happen in the cartoon realm. That does not happen in real life. Once a word comes out of your mouth, it is permanently there. It is heard by the most important individual, and that is you. When you say words out of your mouth, they come out of your mouth back into your ear and into your ear, and it gets processed in your brain. So when we say words like if, we have automatically canceled what it is we're trying to do. We will be like, oh, if, like, we'll be like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna do this, but if, oh, wait a minute. No, let me step back. Because we said if and but are the two words that, when we are getting things done, should be excluded from our vocabulary at that time. We don't want to say if, right? Remove it. We don't want to say but. We simply just want to say I can, I will, I shall, I am. That's it. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Okay? So, Miss Love and Life, you're absolutely right. Get the what ifs out. Appreciate you saying that. Michelle Larson says, do links works? If not, the shop name is Night Owl. Okay, so we can go to Etsy and look for that right there. For Michelle Larson, I don't know. I think YouTube may actually prevent links from being put in chat, but we'll see about that. But we appreciate y'all. Make sure we go to Etsy and check that out. Let's see here. What else? Make Google and YouTube your go-tos if you can't afford a professional. I agree. If you cannot afford to hire a coach or something like that, then Google it. It's going to take time. Yes. There's a lot of things you're going to have to weed through, right? Even with me being here talking to you, I said it before. Yes, I want you to trust my word. I want you to believe what I'm saying, but I also want you to verify what I'm saying. I also want you to take the information that I'm sharing with you and see if this applies to you, because not everything I say applies to everybody. And that's how you should take the information that you find on the web, because there's a lot of people out there that will just talk just to gain notoriety, to gain credibility. A lot of people ride the waves of what's hot topics and they just talk about it, not even necessarily knowing everything on it. But definitely Google research. As a matter of fact, man, I'm thinking this is something maybe that y'all can help me with. Get it to. I want to do a coaching program, an inexpensive coaching program, or something I'm thinking about. Just going off tangent right now. I was thinking about it because Brittany was the inspiration, man. Like we sat here for 3 hours, had good conversation. Uh, I felt good after it was done. She felt good after it was done, and I saw that there was a result. Now I gave Brittany some homework. She has some things to do, and hopefully, when she sees me next week, them things will be done. But there has to be a certain level of accountability. There has to be some things that we get through. So I'm really considering putting together a program where I can maybe take maybe 20 people. I don't want to. I can't take everybody, right? There's capacity issues here. Maybe take 20 people at a time, and we actually go through from beginning through to the end of everything that needs to go do to get them started. But that's just a thought, right? Again, we talking about thoughts and making it manifest and things like that. But y'all can let me know, help me work through that. Let's see here. My man Trucker Mr. Coach said that's my favorite thing to say. Just get it started, especially when asked where and when do I start trucking. You're absolutely right. Just get it started. Miss Fifi Cordero says she's agreed 100. That's good. Yes, yes. Miss Cornbread says good commentary as always. Good to see you. And so many colleges are so expensive now, and these poor young people are just inundated with too much debt. That's absolutely true. Going back to, again, I don't hate college. I don't dislike. I just think that our education system is not for everybody. Okay. But that's been instilled in us, right? The whole process of the American dream is to, one, have a family, right? When you have a family, get married, have kids, train your kids up right, because a trained, well, I guess the society or the stigma is a well-trained kid is one who went to college. Well, what about the ones who didn't go to college and made millions, right? Like, we have so many examples of individuals who did not go to college but are extremely successful. I know people who have MBAs, okay, that are not employed. So I was like, well, what's the point? Or also know people who have MBAs in a certain degree that are not working in the field that they went to school for, right? So what's the point? But then there's all this debt surrounding it, okay? And that's why I'm a real advocate of us just doing it on our own, okay? Of course, we need education. I read books. Like I was just showing you right now, I'm reading this book. Very, very good book. I encourage everybody to get it. You can see it's small, it's not a lot, but it's very knowledgeable, right? Continue to read, continue to consume information. But there should be a pattern, and I'm gonna write this down. There should be a pattern of can we see consume, then take action. Right? Consume, then take action. We should consume and then take action. We should not consume. Where would the action be? Okay. We need to make sure that we are, once we read something, put it into effect. Don't say, man, they introduced me to a new concept. Now I need to go study up on that. No, that's what we should not be doing. If we are going to be successful, we cannot waste our time. There are so many people who get discouraged because somebody else has did it. Well, I'm going to say this. We don't want to waste our time because, as the book told us, the first to market is the first to really be out there. Perfect. I think one of the examples that they mentioned is H&R Block. H&R Block was the first tax company out there really to do tax preparation for the public. And that's why they're one of the most popular, despite the fact that we have multiple CPAs, multiple mom and pop shops, multiple other retail tax preparation companies out there. H&R Block still tends to reign in number one because they were the first to do it. Very simple. So we don't want to waste time. But let's say we did. Let's say that we did actually hold off and said, I'm going to wait for somebody else to do it. Then they're going to come back and tell me this is what worked. This is what didn't work. Pay me and I'll tell you what worked, right? Because that's college system. I went out here and got all this experience. Now pay me for me to tell you, right? Let's say we did that. And then by the time we learn and we feel comfortable enough to do it, we finally go out and now, well, somebody else has got my idea. But guess what? I'm going to still say, so what? Do it anyway. Do it boldly, okay? Think about there's Coke and then there's Pepsi. What if Pepsi said, you know what, man? Coke is already doing this. Not going to happen. They already doing it. Let's shut down operations. It's not going to work. There's a company already out there doing it. What if Pepsi had said that? We wouldn't have some of the great products that we have today. So just because somebody else is doing it, don't get discouraged. The fact that somebody else is doing it means that it works. That means that, hey, they're proving to me that this idea that I have actually works. Why? Because they're doing it. I'm just going to do it differently. I'm going to do it better. I am going to be the best at it. But I know it works because they're doing it. So let's not let anything discourage us from moving forward. We have to. I feel like I'm getting caught up because I'm really trying to find the best way to convey that I don't want us to be stagnant. I no longer want us to procrastinate. I no longer want us to get caught up in thinking that we don't know enough. I just don't want us to not be successful because we have gotten in our own way. Okay, we have to get out of our way and move forward, taking steps. Man, so we are all the way at the 50-minute mark. So let me go through some comments here and get that set up. Let's see. Yes, let's see where we are. Philly D says, "Was good, man. Welcome, Philly. Hey, Philly D probably just didn't catch the fact that I called him out. So I'm gonna repeat, Philly D, you are on my list of people that I challenged last week. Because you said you was looking to start your own business, wasn't sure if it was the right time with the virus and the stay at home. So Philly D, you got to give us an update. Did you get started? Okay, that's what I want to know. So, but outside of that, what's up, man? Unique View says hello to all. Welcome, Unique View. Wishing you the best here. Let's see. Sketches to Design says my grandfather ran a successful business with no college degree. Not sure if he finished high school, but he went into the service, which taught him discipline. He read and learned what he didn't know. Thank you, Sketches to Design, for sharing that with us. Because here we have, I know we kind of read these major stories about these major famous people and what they went through, and it seems a little far-reaching, so it doesn't hit home. But here we have somebody that's part of the family that says their own grandfather ran a successful business without getting the formal education, right? So, and I'm so glad he shared it because the key word there was that he had discipline. And that's what another thing that we lack. Discipline will always beat up procrastination. Very simple. If you are disciplined, you will get things done. You will push through the minutia and get it done. So discipline is key. How do you get discipline? Taking baby steps. One thing that really causes us to crash a lot of times is we try to take gigantic leaps, right? We try to start from way back here and end up way up here. Not going to work. we have to take baby steps. Everything is a baby step, right? So when you're learning discipline, take baby steps. Challenge yourself every single day. Okay. That's something that I had to learn to do. And lately, like I said, this week has been some strange going on in my mind because I go to bed early, but then I'll wake up at like 4 in the morning and just be like, man, why am I up? I try to force myself to go back to sleep and I can't go back to sleep. And I'm like, I know why I'm up. It's time for me to get busy. I got things to do. I got work to do. I have people to help. So let me get to it. But that's discipline, right? That's the conversation that happens in my mind because I can easily roll over and be like, ooh, 4 o'clock. No, I'm going back to sleep. But I'm like, nah, I'm up for a reason, right? Let's get busy. But that's a baby step. That didn't always happen for your favorite uncle cousin. I was the one. Matter of fact, sleep was like my pacifier. Okay. When too much was going on, when too much was happening, I would shut down, go get into bed like I'm taking a nap. That's how I ended up really not doing a lot of things because I was chasing 2 rabbits and I was getting frustrated because I was chasing 2 rabbits, right? They're going in multiple directions and I wasn't catching either one. So in order to pacify my frustration, I went to sleep. But now that's different. Once them eyes open up, I don't even look at my clock. I'm like, I don't care what time it is. I'm up, time to get to work. Now I'm disciplining myself. So that's things that we have to do again. Everything that I'm saying starts with us. We can't blame nobody else. We can't expect it from nobody else. We can't depend on it from nobody else. It starts with us, with the exception of my married couple, you know, like my new favorite couple, Trucking with Mr. Coach, how they're doing things together. That's okay. When you have that kind of purposeful balance and you depend on one another, that's a beautiful thing. But at the end of the day, we have to do it ourselves. All right. Going back down and reading some more. Let's say somebody said, whoa, hold on. Somebody, Unique View says, I know a man who can barely read, who's a multimillionaire. Wow. That is mind-blowing. Somebody who can barely read, but is a multi-millionaire. Think about that. That is a perfect example of somebody saying, you know what? I can't read a book and get the instructions. I'm just going to try and see what happens. And look what happened. They became a multi-millionaire. Unique View, and it's not Mayweather. You being messy for that one. You being messy for that one. But thank you for sharing that. Let's see here. Somebody, Memories of a Lifetime by Raider says, greetings, new to the channel. Welcome. Glad that you're here. Saw the video on why you don't need an LLC. Very interesting. Yeah, that's probably one of my more controversial videos, right? I've been looking around to see what I need to really do to get started. Hopefully you've been here long enough to see. Only thing you really need to do to get started is get started. Everything else is just a function of, right? It can come later. You don't need an LLC to start your business. You don't need the certain entities and documentation to start a business. No, those things will come as you progress. The only thing you need to do to get started in your business is get started in your business. That's very simple enough. So yes. Let's see here. There's a name that I actually cannot pronounce, like DJ Lad, It Bug, Plug, Party, Independent, Plan A through Z. One, go on work, definitely get that plan together. Phil for President says, sorry, I'm late. Man, you ain't never late, right? We can always go back and watch this here. Go Browns guest, trust but verify. Yes, right. Even for me, again, I want you to trust my word, but verify, make sure that it works for you. Okay. Memories of a Lifetime says, oh, need that. Definitely. I don't know what it is that I mentioned that you need, but whatever it is, make sure you get it. Yes. Let's see here. Give me cornbread says, take me. I'm assuming for the coaching thing. I'm putting it together, man. Y'all gonna have to help me out here. Some of y'all gonna be the beta testers. I'm gonna do maybe like a 1 week trial. Like I said, it's in my head now. I haven't written it down. That's the problem. Once I write it down, I'm sure I'll be able to come back and be like, here's the steps. This is what we're gonna do. Let's get busy, right? What is this? My 600-pound life consuming everything, not moving though. Y'all funny. I like y'all. Y'all really make me laugh. Y'all, y'all messy. But we need humor, right? We need to laugh at these things. Oh man, we have reached the hour mark already. So let me just kind of braze through these comments so we can get back to our Friday because it's the first and we are feeling fabulous, right? Friday first, feeling fabulous, or feeling fabulous Friday because it's the first. I don't know, just wordplay. Let's see. Mr. Oliver says the tongue is powerful. Must be very careful as to what proceeds out of thy mouth. This is what I tell my fiance all the time, but absolutely true, right? If we look at it from a spiritual perspective, we've been told that the tongue is mightier, or the pen, right? Or they say the pen is mightier than the sword. Why? Because the pen translates words into visual things, and once it's visual, it becomes real, right? So we have to definitely be careful of the words that we tell ourselves. Remember, remove if from your conversation, remove but from your vocabulary. I have that conversation with my young kids all the time. Like, we're not going to say but, we're not going to say if, we are going to say that we can. We are not going to say that we cannot. Now, in reality, is there things that we cannot do? Of course, right? Like, I just can't get up and fly, right? Like, I would love to fly through the sky like Superman, right? Like, just here I go. I can't do it, right? So being real, there's certain things we cannot do, but let's not get used to saying that word. And that's a conversation that I've had with my boys since they could recognize language, right? You cannot say you cannot. And because of that, I'm having a proud father movement here. All of my kids are honor roll students. Even now, doing this whole virtual thing, like, they're getting these great accolades from their teachers. And I do believe it's because I tried to teach them at a young age. We have to be careful what we say to ourselves. We have to take baby steps and be disciplined. Yeah, I know you don't want to do the work, but you have to discipline yourself to do it. And that's what we have to do as entrepreneurs. We are passionate about what it is that we do, right? I'm gonna continue to pick on trucking for Mr. Coach because him and his wife are just great right now. But let's say, for example, the only thing that he's passionate with doing is trucking, right? Because that's the name of his business, trucking, right? So when it comes to dealing with the taxes, dealing with the bookkeeping, dealing with the admin stuff, that may not be his passion. That's not what he wants to do. But if he disciplines himself enough to say, hey, at least every Friday, I am going to sit down and tackle these books, he'll be better at it, right? Because as entrepreneurs, we only know what we know, but we have to discipline ourselves. We have to say we can't. We have to stop telling ourselves we can't do that. We ain't going to do that. We're not going to do that. If and but, get rid of those things. Do it, because as we do it, we'll get better at it. And we'll see the more steps we take will be progress, right? You'll be put one foot over another. Bam, bam, bam. And you'll look back and be like, man, we actually made some progress here. So that's what we must do here. Okay. Let me continue to read here. John Lindo says I do 70K a year, like 30 AGI. Should I keep it as a sole proprietor? Do I need a separate business account? Well, John, doing 70K as a sole proprietor, but after everything is said and done, your net profit is around 30. I would probably, for now, keep it as a sole proprietor, because the only other suggestion or strategy would be to form an LLC, have it taxed as an S corp, because at that point we can, like I say, change the color of money, have some fun strategies. But that process costs money. So yeah, unless you're doing everything, absolutely everything yourself, it may not, the savings may not outweigh the cost. So, but then again, let's play around with the numbers. Do a scenario. What does it look like as a sole proprietor? What does it look like with an S corp with all the administration fees? If that savings is beneficial to you, then by all means make that change. Okay. Memories of a lifetime. Say, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I press one button and all the things go down here. Says, I just need to know what I need to do without the so-called you need this and you need that. That's why I was so interested in the video, why you don't need an LLC. That made so much sense. Again, well, memories of a lifetime, I'm going to say this. You want to know what you need to do without all the so-called, I'll say this, and I should have said this a long time ago, and I apologize that we're going over the hour mark here. We need to stop listening to certain people. I'm going to just put it out there. Your mind is a factory, right? And just like any other manufacturing factory, the products that come out of that factory is only as good as the raw materials that go into that factory. Your mind is no different. What you put into it will have a direct result on what comes out of it. So we have to be careful of the company we keep. We don't want to tell our friends and family our dreams, because if they're not entrepreneurs, if they're not business people, they can't share your vision. They can't see your vision. So they're going to, shoot it down. Oh, you want to do what? Oh, that'll never work. You tripping. Well, I don't even know why you even think like that. And then you hear that and you react. So to memories of a lifetime point, right? Without all the so-called, to me, that's hearing people telling you what you need and what you don't need. Only thing you need to do is do it. Whatever it is, you can do the same thing as a sole proprietor that you can do as an LLC as far as starting the business goes. LLCs or sole proprietorship, those are tax strategies, but that only comes into play once you start. So unless you haven't started, there's no need to even have a conversation about LLC or sole proprietor, because there's no money. There's nothing to even talk about because nothing haven't started. So don't listen to what they say. Just start, right? People are like, well, where do I start? You start by honing in on your product or service. You start by finding a customer who's willing to pay for that. That's where you start. Once you have that, everything else flows. Then we can get into conversations. Then we can have this and that. Do it. But until we have those two things, a product and a paying customer, we don't have a business. So that's where we start. Okay. Somebody, let's see. Somebody laughed at Tim. Yep, because Tim is funny. Phil for president says sleep doesn't exist for me. I'm down to be in the program, even if it means being up at 4 a.m. to work with you. So yeah, we're gonna get it down. We're gonna figure it out. Most likely, if I do this coaching program, I don't know if we would do it around this time of night. Maybe we should do it in the morning. I'm not sure. Let's see here. Christ Chick Conversations. Just wanted to say hi. Thanks for the tip, confirmation, and relatable. Hey, I got you this time. I didn't skip over your comment. She got on me last time because I missed her comment. I'm good. I got that. My sense, thank you. Said we watched the DBA earlier. Yes, appreciate you being here. Oh, let me go back up here. Very motivated. I'm glad this is definitely motivational here. Yam 10-4 says, my husband asked, what's the name of that diesel? Oh, no, this is not a diesel watch. Who is this? I don't know. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm about to reveal a secret. Your uncle cousin is very frugal. I'm cheap, right? So I doubt if this is a diesel watch. I think I probably got this from Ross. Matter of fact, it says Rockaware. So this is a Jay-Z watch, not diesel. And I think I got it from Ross for like $20. Right. So that's why I say me and being frugal and money and business, I'm the wrong person to tell you want to start a business. And I'm the wrong person to talk about money with, because I'm going to talk you out of spending your money so you can invest it in something else. That's just me. Congrats on the kids, man. I appreciate that. It feels so good. Like I said, proud father moment. Love my kids. They are inspirational. They keep me going. And I'm just hoping that I can be the best servant to them. As a matter of fact, for our Financial Fridays, man, we about to go have another great conversation about assets, liabilities, and equity. And I encourage, have financial conversations with your kids. It's amazing what they learn. Let's see. Christ Chick Conversation says, even if you may not, can you do something at the moment? Right. Never say I can't. Say I will make every effort. Exactly. Okay. The Marcus Allen says, what's up to everybody? Yeah, we appreciate you being here. Mr. What's that? Burello? Man, if I'm murdering your name, please let me know. But Burello in La Cal says hello. Let's see here. LaMarcus Allen says, I did $312K in eBay sales. Whoa, right? Should I do the LLC thing? I do everything myself. Man, if that 300K is net profit, then yeah, me and you need to have a conversation because you may be spending way too much in self-employment tax. So congratulations on that, by the way. But if that is net profit, is that after everything is said and done, then yes, you definitely may need to consider the LLC taxes and S Corp thing. Let's see here. Keep scrolling on down. Let's see. Jay says, so true. The mindset of an employee is very different from that of an entrepreneur. And that's true. It's mindset. That is the only key difference. Outside of mindset, there is absolutely no difference between an employee and an employer. Mindset is the only thing that separates the two. On one side is an employee mentality. On the other side is an employer mentality. Nothing else different. Absolutely true there. And he says, I only realized that when the gears in my brain shifted. Yes, have to make a shift, right? Let's see here. Mr. LaMarcus says, all this knowledge, only 54 people. You know what? Not everybody, my fault. Not everybody knows that I go live. I don't promote. I don't really market. I just put it out there and say who's here is here. All right. So make sure you share it with your friends, right? Of course, they always allow the replay to be listed here. So LaMarcus, share it with your friends. Matter of fact, everybody share it with your friends. So they'll have it, right? Because I don't promote. I just say I'm going live and who's here is here. But maybe I will start promoting because, right, we want to be able to share this information with as many people as possible, just to kind of help out. Okay. So what else we here? Let's see here. I gave my update at the beginning of the video. Tim Johnson said he gave us an update. All right. I'm going to have to go back and look. I didn't see it. I'm going to go back and look. But as long as you gave your update, good. So Tim gave an update. Waiting on the update from Philly D. Michelle Larson gave us an update. So who? Felicia Nelson. I'm not sure if I got an update. And Walter waiting on the update. Let's see here. And I do believe, let's see, I think we've reached the end again. I think somebody told me their name. Radia. Okay, yeah, good. If I murder that name, let me know because I am not good with pronunciation of names, right? So Memories of a Lifetime by Radia. Okay, gotcha. Because I'm going to see more of your comments in the future. Good. I'll make sure I remember that. All right. Then Christ Chick says, do I have a Patreon? No, I do not. Okay. I don't know. It's the thing with me, which is being transparent with my family, being transparent with my audience. I don't like asking people for money, even though I know that's how business works. So anything that any kind of revenue, I'll probably just let it occur naturally. Like I know, for example, here, even on the chat, there is a possible way, I think YouTube has activated it now for me, that people can support the channel by clicking on the money icon that's somewhere on your screen. I don't know if it's at the bottom or is it at the top above the chat, but if you click on the money icon, you can put a small donation to support the channel. I've never mentioned it. I know it's been there for a while, but I'd rather just give and let it naturally come to me. But I'm in business, right? I should do something different. So definitely. And I appreciate the sentiment, the fact that you guys are asking me this, meaning that you support this channel, that you love it, that you love you're supporting your favorite Uncle Cousin. I feel good about that, and I appreciate it. But yeah, so look, we are way over time, 15 minutes, over an hour. Y'all are crazy just to sit here and listen to me ramble for that amount of time. I'm working on some things. Hopefully, by the next time we come onto the show, I'll be able to add some graphics to the screen just to kind of make it better, so you're not sitting here staring at me this whole time. But trying to make sure everything get worked out and get done. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down. I still see comments coming in. Man, I appreciate that one. I appreciate everybody, all my supporters. Let's see. Somebody says Henry Lobo says, I just in the last month procured my LLC, my EIN number, and business check. Okay, cool. Much good. Make sure you get everything set up properly, and we'll be good to go. Chucky Mr. Coach said it's not there yet. The money, okay. Don't worry, it's coming. All right. Let's see. Molai says, Henry, you should be using QuickBooks app. Okay. What advice would I give here? We'll have to talk offline, man. I've already reached my time limit here. Wanda gave us an update, y'all. Said LegalZoom sent it off. The federal government just waiting 14 days. Good. Henry, yes, there's a way to speak with me and get clarified. Definitely shoot me an email. As always, let me put that into the comments so we'll see that here. What is the email? Long one, so just copy and paste. Did that for SEO purposes. But all right, family, man, look, I absolutely love all of you who've been here live watching this. I love you even equally for those who are watching the replay. Again, if you're new to the channel, your first time being here, and you like this type of information, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you'll see these lives and get all the videos that I'll be doing, because there's a lot coming. And you know, and that's it for me, people. You know, I love you. I will say that often. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you being here. Another good session based on you guys' comments, based on what you've done. You make this possible. So feel good that when you leave here that you've done something amazing, because without you, none of this would be possible. Without you, I would not be here having this conversation, having this dialogue. I wouldn't be having the thoughts. I wouldn't be having the creativity. I wouldn't be having the joy that I have because of you. So because of that, please know that my love for you is sincere. That's why you are my family. That's why I call you family. And that's why I'm your favorite Uncle Cousin. So until next week, you guys take care. Cut that procrastination. Don't hesitate on anything. Trial and error. That's how we win. And that's how we're going to move forward. I don't know. So until next time, family, know I love you, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.